Here's a lesson on determining the equation of a line in slope y-intercept form if you're given the slope of a line and a point on the line. Well, remember, slope y-intercept form looks like this, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line, b is the y-intercept of the line, and x and y represent all the ordered pairs xy that are on the line. So what we're going to do in part 1 of this lesson is find the equation of a line in slope y-intercept form when we're given its slope and a point on the line. So if we're given the slope of a line and the point on the line, we can find its equation by substituting the slope m and the given point xy into slope y-intercept form y equals mx plus b. Then we solve for b and write the final equation using the found values of m and b. So let's try that out for example 1. Example 1 says determine the equation of the line in slope y-intercept form that has a slope of 3 and goes through the point 2, -5. So slope y-intercept form, that means the format y equals mx plus b. And to write the equation of a line in that format, I need to know the values of m and b. Well, it says the slope is 3. That means that the m value, the slope, is 3. So I can replace m with 3. But I don't know the b value. I don't know the y-intercept. There's an infinite number of lines that have a slope of 3. But by changing the b value, that shifts the line up or down but keeps the slope consistent. What I need to do is figure out what is the value of b that makes the line go through this point 2, -5. So what I can do is take that point and use its coordinates as x and y in my equation and then solve for b. So I'll take my m, my x, and my y and sub those in for m, x, and y into y equals mx plus b, and then solve for my one remaining variable, b. 3 times 2 is 6. Then I can subtract this 6 to the other side of the equation, and I figure out that my b value is -11, which means that the equation of this line is y equals 3x minus 11. For the final equation of the line, we always sub in for m and b, not for x and y, because this equation defines the relationship between all x and y values that make up the line. Let's try another example. Example 2. It says write the equation of each line given its slope and a point on the line. So if I look at part A, if I want the equation in slope y-intercept form, the format y equals mx plus b, I need to know m and b. The question gives me m is -2, but it doesn't give me b. I'll have to solve for it by subbing in this point for my x and y values into my equation and then solve for b. So I'll change y to -7, m to -2, and x to -3. And now I have to solve this equation for my one remaining unknown, my b value. I have -7 equals -2 times -3, which is +6, plus b. And it just so happens I have a 6 and a b beside each other again, which look fairly similar. Try and do a good job when communicating your solutions of making your 6's and b's distinguishable between the two. I'll isolate this b by subtracting this 6 to the other side, and I figure out that b is -13. So that means the final equation of this linear relationship would be y equals, sub in the m and b values. My m was -2, so -2x minus 13. There's the final equation of the line. Now let's go over to part B. In part B, once again, I have slope and a point. That point has an x and a y coordinate. So into y equals mx plus b, I can sub in 5 for my y, a half for my m, and 1 for my x. And now I have to solve for b. Well, a half times 1 is just a half. And then to isolate b, I'll have to subtract this 1/2 to the other side. And then when subtracting fractions, we need a common denominator. This 5 is right now a 5 over 1. If I multiply top and bottom by 2, that becomes 10 over 2. So I have 10 over 2 minus 1 over 2, which is 9 over 2. Or 4.5 if you would rather a decimal value, but I'll leave it as a fraction 9 over 2. Which means my final equation would be y equals a half x plus 9 over 2. Always in the final answer, we sub in for m and b, not x and y. So there we go, we've done example 2. Let's move on to example 3. It says determine the equation of a line that is parallel to this line and goes through this point. Well, if it's parallel to this line, what we know about parallel lines is that they share the same slope. Well, the slope of this line is -2/5. So the slope of a line parallel to it would also be -2/5. So I know it has the same slope as this line, but it's not necessarily going to have the same y-intercept. All we know about parallel lines is that they have the same slope. They could have different y-intercepts. So we have to solve for what is the y-intercept of our line by using this slope and this point, which has an x and a y coordinate, to be able to solve for the y-intercept of the line. So in the format y equals mx plus b, I can sub in the slope of -2/5 for m, and then sub in this point for my x and y values. If I simplify this equation, I have -4 equals -2/5 times 20. Well, there's a couple ways we could simplify that. -2 times 20 is -40, so I have -40/5. And then -40 divided by 5 is -8, so I can change that to -8. I can take this -8, move it to the other side. It becomes -4 plus 8. And I get a b value of 4. And then I can write the final equation of this line by subbing in my slope and my y-intercept in for m and b into y equals mx plus b. So my final equation is y equals -2/5 x plus 4. And now example 4. It says determine the equation of a line that is perpendicular to this line and passes through this point. Well, first of all, this linear relationship is in standard form. To know its slope, I'm going to have to put it into slope y-intercept form. So I'm going to have to rearrange it to isolate y. I'll start by rewriting the equation. And the easiest way to isolate the y would be just take this -y, move it to the other side, it becomes positive y. So I have 2x plus 4 equals y. Or I suppose I could rewrite that as y equals 2x plus 4, so that it looks like the slope y-intercept format we're used to, y equals mx plus b. So the slope of this line is 2. But I want the slope of a line perpendicular to it, so I need the perpendicular slope. Well, perpendicular slopes, remember, are negative reciprocals. A reciprocal just means 1 over a value. Or another way to think about it is just the flipped value of a fraction. So if this slope is 2, if we think of that as a fraction, we could think of any whole number as being over 1. When we do a reciprocal, I just have to flip the fraction. So instead of 2 over 1, it becomes 1 over 2. And perpendicular slopes are negative reciprocals, which means I also have to multiply the value by -1, making this slope -1/2. So my perpendicular slope is -1 over 2. I'll use this slope and this point, which is an x and a y value, and sub them into the slope y-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So I'll sub x and y in for x and y, and I'll sub in this perpendicular slope for m. -1/2 times -2. Well, -1 times -2 is +2. So I have 5 equals 2 over 2 plus b. And 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I could change that to 1. And then just subtract this 1 to the other side. And I'd see that the b value is 4. So the final equation, I'll sub in my perpendicular slope for m and 4 for b into y equals mx plus b, and I'll have my final equation of y equals -1/2 x plus 4. Now let's move on to the next section of this lesson, where we find the equation of a line given 2 points on the line. Well, if we're given 2 points, what we have to do is first find the slope using this formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then we can finish the question like we did in part 1, where we use that calculated slope and either of the given points, sub them in for m, x, and y equals mx plus b, solve for b, and then write the final equation by subbing in for m and b. So example 1 says find the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. To write the equation of a line, we need slope. And to calculate slope, m, we can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And for the 2 points that we have, it doesn't matter which one's point 1 and which one's point 2. I'll just make m my first point, so that's my x1, y1. and n can be my second point, my x2, y2. And now I can take those values and sub them into this formula. y2 minus y1 would be 5 minus negative 3, and then x2 minus x1 would be 2 minus 4. And that gives me 8 over negative 2, which is negative 4. So my slope is negative 4, but I don't have my y-intercept yet. So into y equals mx plus b, I'll sub my slope of negative 4 in for m, and then pick either of these 2 points to sub in for my x and my y. I think I'll pick point n to be my x and my y. So I'll use 5 for y, negative 4 for m, and 2 for x, which gives me 5 equals negative 8 plus b. Move the negative 8 to the other side by adding 8, and I get a b value of 13. And if we had have used this first point, point m, instead of point n in for x and y, we would have gotten the exact same b value. So my final answer, subbing in for m and b, I get y equals negative 4x plus 13. And then the second example of this part of the lesson says determine the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. So we'll follow the same process. I'll have to start by finding the slope using my formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. For these 2 points, doesn't matter which one's point 1, which one's point 2. I'll just make a my point 1, so that's my x1, y1. B can be my second point, x2, y2. If I sub into my formula, y2 minus y1 would be 11 minus 2, and x2 minus x1 would be 8 minus negative 4. So that gives me a slope of 9 over 12, but that reduces. 3 divides evenly into both 9 and 12, so divide the top and bottom by 3, and I get a simplified slope of 3 over 4. So now into y equals mx plus b, I can sub in either point. This time I'll pick my first point, so I'll sub in 2 for y, negative 4 for x, and 3/4 for m. This whole number multiplies to the numerator. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. So I have negative 12 over 4 plus b on the right side of the equation. And negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. Move the negative 3 to the other side by adding 3, and I get a b value of 5. So my final equation, subbing in my m and my b, would be y equals 3/4 x plus 5. And then let's finish off this lesson with an application question. Example 3 says, an appliance repair company charges $205 for a repair that takes 3 hours, and the same company charges $505 for a repair that takes 8 hours. And what we want to do is find an equation that represents the cost of a repair based on the number of hours that the repair takes. So the equation, we'll assume there's a linear relationship between the two variables, the cost and the number of hours. So the equation, in the format y equals mx plus b, instead of y, we're going to let y represent the cost of the repair, and cost depends on the number of hours. So x is going to stand for our number of hours. The number of hours is our independent variable. So to define the cost in terms of the number of hours of the repair, I'm going to have to solve for m and b. Well, the question gave me 2 different coordinate points that I can use to help me find m. It told me that for 3 hours of work, right, the number of hours is x, the cost, y, is 205, and for 8 hours of work, the cost is $505. So I have 2 points. My first point would be the point 3, 205, and my second point would be the point 8, 505. My first point I can use as my x1, y1, and my second point as my x2, y2, into the formula m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let me actually make a bit of room here. And now I'll sub into the formula y2 minus y1 is 505 minus 205, and x2 minus x1 would be 8 minus 3. So my slope is 300 over 5, which equals 60. And when we did our slope, what we did was calculate the rate of change. We figured out what's the change in y divided by the change in x. So what's the change in cost divided by what's the change in hours. So we figured out that rate of change of cost per hour is 60. So it costs $60 per hour. That's our rate of change. But there might have been an initial cost. To find that initial cost before any work is done, what we have to do is into y equals mx plus b, sub in our m value for 60, and then pick either of our points to sub in for x and y. I'll pick my first point. If I solve for b, I have 205 equals 180 plus b. Subtract that 180 to the other side, and I find out that b equals 25. So there must be an initial cost of $25. So the final equation that defines the relationship between cost and hours would be y equals 60x plus 25. So to calculate the cost, you do 60 times the number of hours and then add the initial cost of $25. So to do part B, it says what's the cost of a repair that takes 7 hours? Well, to find the cost, you do 60 times the number of hours, which is 7, plus the initial cost of 25. So the total cost, 60 times 7, is 420. Plus the initial cost of 25 means the total cost will be $445. And then lastly, what if a repair costs $385? How many hours does it take? Well, the relationship between cost and number of hours is that the cost is equal to 60 times the number of hours plus 25. If the cost is $385, so if y is $385, what's x? Well, let's change y to 385 and then solve for x. I'll isolate the term that involves the x by first taking this plus 25, subtracting it to the other side, giving me 360 equals 60x. And then to isolate the x that is being divided by 60, I would divide both sides by 60. On the right, they cancel, giving me x is equal to 360 over 60, which is 6. So it must have taken 6 hours of work for it to cost $385. So that's the end of this lesson, where we come up with the equation of a line given slope and a point, or given 2 points. Make sure you go to jensenmath.ca to get the practice problems that go along with this lesson.